London town. One foot up and one foot down, and that's the way to London town. Come, children all, both great and small, with eager eye and ear, who dwell far and near, in hope that someday you'll contrive to view great London's busy hive, and hear the mighty hum of bees at work alike in sun or shower, while butterflies beneath the trees flit idly by from flower to flower. In parks and gardens bright and gay, come, climb St. Paul's with us today. And with this book in hand, upon the dome we'll stand, and thence look down over London town. Among the sights of London town, which little visitors wish to view, the Tower stands first, and its great renown has, you will notice, attracted pure. At a well-known spot, to Miss Prue's surprise, some fine old ravens are strutting about. If upon a picture a glance you cast, you will know the ravens next, no doubt. The red-coated guard who's watching here is called Beefeater, fancy that. And Prue discovers, as she draws near, a child by his side who is round and fat. Father and mother, pray come here, in tones so pleasant, laughs Lively clear. You've shown me things that are old and queer, a beefeater's baby I'll show you. Prue has wandered high and wandered low, through Gnomon chapel and dungeon cell. The grand crown jewels that sparkle so, and the trader's gate she has seen as well. She has looked from the walls on the river too, and spent in the armory nearly an hour. Ah, holiday folks, like our Miss Prue, enjoy themselves when they come to the Tower, but the Tower was a prison in days of old, and few who got into it ever came out, though now we can visit the grim stronghold any day of the week without fear or doubt. Every day along the streets of mighty London town, 900 omnibuses rumble up and down. When you're tired of walking, call, "Hi, conductor, stop," and it'll give you such a jolly ride for 2 pence on the top. Sometimes by the bus's side, small boys will run a mile, turning around just like the wheels and hungry all the while. We've not had any breakfast, won't you toss us down a brown? That's what they call a penny in the streets of London town. The penny iceman. In summer, when the sun is high and children's lips are parched and dry, and ice is just the thing to try, so this young man who comes this plain from Saffron Hill or Leather Lane, a store of pence will quickly gain. A lemon ice for me, says Fred. Chris Sue, no, have a cream instead. A raspberry, shouts newsboy Ned. What fun! Although we're now in June, it feels, says Ned, this afternoon, like eating winter with a spoon. This is Covent Garden. What a lively scene! Here are the flowers so pretty, their leaves are so green. These are busy buyers, busy seller those, selling, buying, selling, everything that grows. Fruits and lovely blossoms hither come each day, fresh from other gardens many miles away. Cabbages, potatoes, pears and apples too, grapes and pines and peaches, all are here on view. So the air is scented with the pleasant fruits, with the bright hued nosegays and the springing roots. For the little street boys, walking up and down, it's almost like the country brought to London town. The penny toy man. Toys, toys, penny toys, toys for girls and toys for boys, toys for dots who scarce and crawl, toys for youngsters stout and tall, toys for prince and peasant too, toys, my dears, for all of you, toys for girls and toys for boys, toys, toys, penny toys. This is how the toyman talks, as through London town he walks, bawling out his toyman's song, while he slowly moves along, on the pavement with a tray which is filled from day to day with new toys to catch the eye of the youthful passer-by. Sometimes it's a great big spider, like that Miss Muffet had beside her. Sometimes it's a bat that flies, or a baby doll that cries. Sometimes it's a frog that leaps, or a crocodile that creeps, but whatever toy is shown, for a penny it's your own. The Orange Girl Kitty, here you may see, that she is pretty, all will agree. 3 for a penny, that is her cry. No wonder many hasten to buy. Orange Girl Kitty roams to and fro. Oh, through the city she's known high and low. When the sun's shining, when the rain falls, never repining, fine fruit Kitty calls. Orange Girl Kitty's mother we're told, everyone pities, so feeble and old. Poor mother's living Kitty obtains, cheerfully giving her all she gains. The 1st of May. Chimney sweeps day, blackbird is gay. Here he is sinning, you see in the May. He has the feathers as black as the chimney sweep coat, so on chimney sweep's day he must pipe a glad note. Jack in the Green from door to door capers along with his followers four. As May Day mummers are seldom seen, let us all give a copper to Jack in the Green. St. James Park. What a countrified scene we have here. Who would think London town was so near? That its murmur comes borne on the breeze to the listener under the trees. That is spot to buy biscuits or buns, each child joyously runs. But the park's greatest treat, they all vow, is a glass of new milk from the cow. Cried the drake to the ducks, here's a boy with a bun. Come make haste, we shall have quite a feast. Would you mind, said a swan, if we share in the fun? Oh dear no, said he, not in the least. It was surely through fear and not politeness at all, that the drake made so civil a speech. For that one penny bun after all was so small, there was hardly a mouthful for each. From the ducks and the swans on the lake to next page, a much quieter scene you may pass. Through Westminster's cloisters are hoary with age, yet green is their velvety grass, and cheerily bright are their gables and peaks as they glow in the western sun. This some house in the cloisters yon schoolboy seeks. Don't you wonder now which is the one? In all the land a pile so grand is scarcely found as this. Around its old grey walls the shadow falls of bygone years, and so one fears to raise one's tone, which one has shown some ancient tomb half hid in gloom. Beneath such stones there rest the bones of monarchs bold whose stories told for you and me in history. From kings of men we wander, then we're quickly brought to kings of thought, for poets lie interred hard by. Here too repose the bones of those who fought the foe long ago. Brave knights were they, and in the fray they kept from shame the English name, and proved in fight Great Britain's might. Where they are laid their rest is made, as sweet as prayer by music rare. Over their head the sleeping dead can daily hear the anthem clear, boding along like angels' song, until it dies like angels' dies. On the way to the British Museum. Not far from the British Museum there stands an apple stall painted bright green, whence a penny may buy from the stall-keeper's hands 3 apples all rosy and clean. Now the girls of St. George's Great Charity School very often are passing that way, for the governor's wives make this very good rule. They must go for a walk every day. How wistful the glances they cast as they pass, how they long for an apple to eat, but their pockets are quite without pennies, alas, to purchase so dainty a treat. These maidens have cheeks that are rosy and sweet as the choicest fruit on the stall, and the very next time that we meet in the street, I'll buy apples enough for them all. Goodness gracious, what a noise baby Bunting's bent on making. It is quite enough to set all the heads around him aching, still we're sure that baby has many griefs if we could see him, for which other babes he's come. Miles and miles to the museum, baby Bunting thought. Of course, when he said goodbye to mother, that he'd pass in through the gates, with big sister and big brother, but poor baby finds, alas, that his little hopes have flitted. And it nasty notice says, babes in arms are not admitted. In the British Museum. If you want to see all sorts of wonderful things, stuffed crocodiles, mammoths, and sloths, hairy ducks with 4 feet and fishes with wings, fat beetles, and strange spotted moths, and enormous winged bulls with long beards carved in stone, dug up from mysterious sand, and old blackened mummies as dry as a bow discovered in Egypt's lone land, and beautiful statues from Greece and from Rome, and other fine things without end, you will find you can see half the world here at home, if a place in this you will spend. The Underground Railway. Who is this in the weighing chair? Why, little Dot, I do declare. 3 stone 5. So what? So much as that. Calls out Miss Dot, then I must be fat. On this and the opposite page you see Dot's mother and brothers and sisters 3. They wait for an underground train to come and carry them swiftly back to their home. Wonderful trains from morn till night, clattering through tunnels without daylight. Hither and thither they run up and down beneath the streets of London town. Many prefer these cabs instead of the cabs and buses overhead, for they run much faster than horses can. Miss Potts' papa is a busy man, and goes to the city every day. By the underground, the quickest way, and 100 millions of people, it is found, are carried each year by the underground. The Zoological Gardens. Away we go to the famous zoo with Bertie and Nellie and Dick and Sue, and we feel quite ready to jump for glee when these wonderful birds and beasts we see, the pelican solemn with monster beak, and the plump little penguin round and sleek, have set us laughing ha ha ho ho, and you'll laugh too if you look below. To the monkey house then we make our way, where the monkeys chatter and climb and play. At the snakes we peep, then onward stroll, to talk to parrots and scratch a pole. And after all that, there will still be time on the patient elephant's back to climb. The Bear and the Buns. Don't forget at the zoo to take a good view of the funny old bear who climbs out of his lair. Up a pole look he's here, with his queer figure so queer and his thick clumsy paws. And his bun-seeking jaws on the end of a stick. Place a bun, now quick, Master Birdie, and snap, what an awful red trap. The bun's out of sight, but one more will delight. Bother Bruno up there, for his appetite's rare. And he never says no to a dozen or so. The milk woman, milk oh, each morn she cries, and little sleepers open their eyes, and wonder if pure milk is sold by Betty here, for they've been told that London milk, how people talk, is only water mixed with chalk. The Muffin Man. You've heard about the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. You've heard about the Muffin Man who lives in Drury Lane. Well, here you see that Muffin Man, that celebrated Muffin Man, and if you tried his muffins, you'll be sure to buy again. The Shoe Black Brigade. If you wanted a boy to polish your shoes, which of these two do you think you would choose? They were once street Arabs, hungry, ill-clad, and in very sore danger of going to the bad. But now, one might think their fortunes were made. They're so proud to belong to the Shoe Black Brigade. The Blue Coat Boys. If you should pass through Newgate Street, bare-headed boys with coats of blue, among the crowd your shirts and meat, and all with yellow stockings too. Their coats are lawn as well as blue, and when at football they do play, they find them rather heavy too, so tuck them up out of the way. In Trish's passage will be found the entrance to the school and through. It looks so quiet all around, we hear the crowd go to and fro. Above the doorway there you see the Boy King statue. What do you know? Who founded this great school? 'Twas he, more than 300 years ago. In the famous Good Hall, mayor and the aldermen all meet to banquet and feast, and it's whispered that they are inclined in the least from the table to stray, for they're fond of good cheer, and they meet with it here, where the wine is so fine. And still better than that, where the turtle rich fat tempt the guests when they dine. Turtle soup's very good, and a favorite food with the banqueters all, who frequent the guild hall. Two giants so tall guard the famous guild hall. Gog is one, and the other is Magog his brother. Well, these giants so tall watch the feast, but can't call for a crumb as they're dumb, not living at all, else 'twould seem scarcely fair, that when good things were by, Gog and Morg would stare from their pedestals high, for if placed at a table, at least they'd look able to dine there, and then, like two live aldermen. The Cat's Meat Man. He calls meat, meat, all down the street, and dogs bow wow, and cats meow, while kidders sly come purring by, as if to say, do service. Pray, the first of all, for we're so small, the man throws bit amidst the kits, and cats and dogs, then on he jogs, and down the street, so cries meat, meat. The Night Watch. Policeman A, Policeman B, likewise Policeman C and D. All in rows, sedate and slow, away their beats, tramp, tramp they go. Now the first is beloved by Anne, and the cook, and his manly face has a bashful look, as he thinks with a sigh of the beer and the pie he has had from those areas close by. And here are three housemaids, trim and slim. Mr. B knows Betty is fond of him, but policeman C loves Cicely, and Dolly's engaged to policeman B. The Foundling. In Guildford Street, great London town, is a nursery bigger than ever has been. When each child grows up and leaves its walls, another new baby that day is seen in the foundling's cots. Each little babe has no babysitter or baby brother, and never shall know the anxious care. And never shall know the anxious care and tender touch of a loving mother, but our Father who gives their daily bread to all of his creatures calls kindly men to build this home for famishing babes from many poverty-stricken dens. And here they are fed and clothed and taught, and lift their voices in prayer and praise. And here every Sunday the people flock to hear the anthem the foundlings raise. After chapel see them all, assembled in the dining hall. The bugle sound, ere grace is snung, then fork and spoon and lip and tongue. Chatter clacker, such a noise, oh such happy girls and boys. The flower woman, flowers sweet and fair, sir, flowers that any princess might wear, sir, a bunch for a punny, many a bunch must the flower woman sell to buy food for herself and her children as well. Cleopatra's Needle. Upon the broad embankment you'll find a curious sight. The children play around it from morning until night, and crowds of grown-up people here to see it too. 'Tis Cleopatra's Needle folks gather just to view. In mother's pretty workbox there's no such needle shown. This needle brought from Egypt is nothing but a stone. How silently it watches old Damas go gliding by. You're very old, the river says, but not so old as I. Think you it's long for Egypt, this wondrous solemn stone, that stands and gazes at us each day so sad and lone. Ah yes, when London's sleeping, if monuments can dream, it longs for Egypt's palm trees, and now a slow murmuring stream. The chestnut woman. Oh ha, come buy. 10 a penny is the price, and if you my chestnuts try, you'll declare they're very nice. See how brightly burns my fire, hear the chestnuts hiss and crack. Better nuts you can't desire than these beauties big and black. Oh hot, if you are cold, have a penny worth of heat. Something nice and warm to hold, something nice and warm to eat. Munch your chestnuts up and down. If your toes want warming too, say, I'll have another 10 just to warm me through and through. So the cheerful chestnut dame to each chilly passer calls, as she roasts above the flame fine round nuts like flary balls. Hungry children soon draw near, if a punny they have got, and with warmth and food to cheer, they become all hot. The 5th of November. The 5th of November, they bid you remember these bright little boys with the funny old guy. In his chair up and down, he'll be borne through the town, then burned in a bonfire, he'll be bye-bye. All those who remember the 5th of November, some money will give to the boys with the guy. If all gave a penny, I wonder how many reels, crackers, and squibs they'd be able to buy. In the children's hospital, little sick Tommy, what trouble he's had, medicine and blisters, his cough was so bad. Now he is better, he soon will be well, and go back to mother with stories to tell. Of softly reclining on pillows of down, of Mary his nurse in her pretty blue gown, of the doctor so gentle to utter sick voice, and oh, a whole shop full of beautiful toys. The happy family. Here's my happy family, little folks, as you may see. Cats who fight, but just in fun. Mice who up the flagstaff run. Croquet canaries too. Now, my dears, twist me and you. Girls and boys who scold and tease. Might a lesson learn from these. Birds and beasts who all agree in my happy family. The crossing sweeper. He is weak and old, and he feels the cold, but a nice clean path he keeps, for passengers all, both great and small, as the mud to each side he sweeps. The people stare in London town at his turban rare, and his face so brown, but the poor old Hindu does not mind, so long as a coin for him they find, and he nods and smiles, and he sweeps away, and if to passer-by he say, think of your shiny boots and shoes, and a copper to me you can't refuse. For each penny I get, I sweep the faster. Ah, thank you, kind young master. Punch and Judy. Have you a punny? Well then stay. Haven't you any? Don't go away. Punch holds receptions all through the day, squeaking aloud to gather a crowd, scolding at Toby, beating his wife, frightening the constable out of his life, and making jokes in a terrible fashion, as is Mr. Punch's peculiar fashion. For this is his old delightful plan of getting as many pence as he can. Then away he'll jog with his wife and his dog, new folks to meet in the very next street. The Lother Arcade. Tell me, rosy little boy, listen, little maiden, too. Do you love a fine new toy? Yes, you say, of course you do. And your thoughts to mother tell, and she'll take her little maid, and her little boy as well, to this wonderful arcade. Active apes that climb up sticks, swords and guns and trumpets bright, wooden horses and wooden bricks, big fat lambs with faces white, dolls that smile and dolls that cry, soldiers ready for parade, all are here for you to buy in this wonderful arcade. Toys are hanging up on strings, toys are laid in tempting rows, and each shop with pretty things is so crammed it overflows. Little girls and little boys, oft are puzzled, we're afraid, which should choose of all the toys in this wonderful arcade. The dustman is coming. Off to bed the pets must flock, look it's nearly 8 o'clock. Baby sleepy, so is Claire, ah says mother on the stair. To little folks that yawn and blink, the dustman's coming I should think. Mother's right for sure enough, here's the dustman strong and bluff. Dust ho, hear his cry as the dust ho rumbles by. The dust ho man home is going soon, for there you see the rising moon. And sleepy Claire and caught so white thinks that his cry must mean good night. Goodbye.